boatload of points, and they scored 59 in their state semifinal win against a really good Johnstown Monroe team last week.
I mean, you know it's going to be a good game when we're looking at records, offensive records before the game,
right,
expecting some of those to go down. And, you know, Norwayne has an offense that can match. You know, it's all going to be about the defense today and which defense comes up with some kind of thing to stop the other offense. But Norwayne and Adam Wallace at the helm of that offense has just done a great job this year. Like you said, putting up a lot of points. There's 4 games where they've put up basically 60 points or more, and that's impressive. That's a lot of points in a football game.
We'd be talking a lot about Adam Wallace today if it weren't for Matty Mock. I mean, the quarterback on the other side, almost 2,700 yards and 36 touchdowns. He was also first team All-Ohio with Mock. So these are the two alleged best quarterbacks.
And a 1,000-yard rusher as well. And we've got two guys who also will pull the ball down if nothing is there and run with it. And they've had success all year long, so expect to see that today as well.
Norwayne, champions of the Wayne County League, 177 boys enrolled in their school. And the Western Buckeye League champion, Kenton, 226 boys as we get ready to go here for this D4 state championship game. We'll pause right now for messages from our local station. Kenton and Norwayne Division IV title game is coming up. You're listening to the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
The Ohio High School Athletic Association is a voluntary, nonprofit association of more than 830 public and private high schools and approximately 850 7th and 8th grade schools.
Member schools vote on rules and regulations pertaining to eligibility, scholarship, and many other issues.
Sometimes we have to make tough decisions to enforce the rules, but that's just part of all the things the OHSAA does to make sure Ohio school sports are fair, safe, and fun for everyone.
Hi, I'm Gavin DeGraw for RAD, recording artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. In less time than it takes to play your favorite tune, someone will be killed or injured in an alcohol-related crash. If you party, plan ahead. Designate before you celebrate. Sad stories make great songs, but happy endings make better lives. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Bill Hoskett, Ohio State basketball All-American, NBA champion, and Olympic gold medalist on achievement.
It was an honor to play the game of basketball at the highest level in college, the pros, and in the Olympics. But for me, it all started as a member of my high school team, where I learned the values of discipline, responsibility, and teamwork. The life lessons that interscholastic athletics teaches kids remains with them long after their playing days are over. Together, let's respect the game and ensure school sports build the foundation for a lifetime of success.
A message from the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah?
You remember that ball game we went to a couple years ago?
Sure.
And how you didn't have enough cash for 2 hot dogs, so you walked with me on your shoulders until we found an ATM? And then when we got back to our seats, we never saw the hot dog guy again.
Well, I don't remember all that.
Yeah, that was an awesome game.
You never know which moments will be the ones they'll remember forever, so take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Division IV state championship game coming up here on the OHSAA Radio Network. Don't forget Division I title game tonight. Cleveland St. Ignatius and Pickerington Central will do battle. All right, let's take a look at Justin's keys to the game. And it's kind of, we've been joking here all morning or an afternoon long about the keys, and it's just, I guess, outscore the other team. But first, let's start with Kenton. I mean, they're going to do what they do, and they're really not going to change it all that much. But, you know, you get to a state championship game. Does Matty squeeze the ball a little bit more? Receivers, you know, how's everybody going to react to the state championship game, I guess?
You know, I really feel as if these teams have both had enough success here just in this one season alone, putting up a lot of points in big games. And we see Norwayne putting up 59 in the state semifinal game, 36 for Kenton. They know how to play on a big stage, and they want to come out here today. It's a beautiful day. The weather's not going to be an issue. I think they're just, as far as Kenton comes, they're going to come out and do what they do. Matty Mock's going to be the guy where it all starts. If he wants to have a good game, he has been in the big stage before, and I think that's where it starts, and that's what's going to happen. It's just going to be it's going to be one of those games back and forth. It's hard to put one thing on, well, they need to do this, they need to do that, because these teams put up a lot of points, and they're hard to stop. They want to put up points if they weren't good at what they do, and so it's just going to be one of those things where each team, this is what I kind of looked at. Looking at the scores of the seasons, each team has had about one game where they haven't put up a lot of points. So maybe the coaches before the game said, all right, we're going to really study that one game, see what that team did against them, see what worked, and try and implement that into what we're going to do against them. And, each team has one of those games, so maybe that's something the coaches looked at and are hoping that they can do to slow down the other offense.
Real quickly, if you are a defense and as Norwayne's going to have to do today, you almost have to make a decision how you're going to attack them. We were talking about earlier, I've spoken with a coach before. He says you have two choices. You bring the house and hope that they drop balls or you can't find open receivers, or you bring 2 and drop 9 and do it that way. It's pick your poison almost.
It's pick your poison. You almost just do that and switch it on and off, try and keep the offense on their toes. Maybe every other play, maybe every 2 plays, you just kind of keep them on their toes and doing something different, trying to create something. But like you said, there's a couple things you can do, and if they have those figured out and they know how to attack them, which I'm sure they do and they've seen it before, it's going to be a tough, long day for defenses.
All right, Division IV state championship game, a little over 10 minutes to go till kickoff. Kenton getting ready to come out onto the field. We'll take another timeout. Back with more. You're listening to the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
I'm Professor Burke from the University of Farmers, where agents graze in the fields of excellence, and this is a pop quiz. True or false? The best way to protect something new is to cover it with space-age plastic wrap. False. With Farmers New Car Pledge, you can receive the replacement value if your new car is totaled in the first 2 years. If you said true, unwrap your couches, then call a Farmers agent.
We are insurance.
We are Farmers.
Restrictions apply, not available in all states. Call a Farmers agent for details on all of our auto coverage options. Find your local agent at farmers.com.
Proud to stand on our own. Proud to be homegrown. A familiar face and a name you know. Come on. We know you. We know your needs. We know what being a neighbor means. Can you hear it? Fueling the American spirit. No matter when, no matter where, Marathon will take you there.
Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
You're listening to the State Football Championships on the Ohio High School Athletic Association Radio Network.
National anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner.
Back at Tiger Stadium in Massillon as both these teams are about ready to come onto the field. Let's listen in now as we have our national anthem. The alma mater of Kenton first, so we'll hold off for just a moment. Great crowd on hand here today, and right now, a little bit of a wind. Yep, a little bit of a wind. The surface is going to be in great shape, which is going to really be. It's going to be, I think we're going to end up with a little bit of a situation like we had last night in the Division II game. So many things are going to happen. The first game we had yesterday morning with Kirtland, 14-7, and it's a tight ball game, and you can almost remember everything that happened. We had forgotten half of what had happened in the game last time. By the time we got to the second quarter, right?
Yeah, they had some issues going on early on, and fumbles and interceptions, pick sixes. You may see something like that here early. These guys trying to figure each other out. These defenses going against these offenses saying, we're going to throw something crazy at you here early on. You may see something like that happen today.
Turnovers could just, they always play a big role, but it'll be interesting to see if there are turnovers and how many there are in a game such as today, because the ball's going to be pitched around a lot, may end up on the carpet a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. The one thing that Justin Zwick's going to have to get over today is quarterback Adam Wallace for Norwayne wears number 45.
I can't
and
do
you're really
it.
struggling right now.
I can't wrap my mind around that either. I tell you what, my backup back in the day wore 25, and it bugged me then, and it just stuck with me to this day. And that was back in 7th grade. I just can't get over it. I don't know what it is.
Well, both teams, Kenton came through their inflatable helmet, and they quietly walked over to a corner of the end zone. They've lined up in the back of the end zone to our far right, and Norwayne to our left is lined up along the goal line, and we now have our national anthem. National anthem here performed by the Kenton Wildcat Marching Band. One last timeout, starting lineups, opening kickoff, Division IV state championship game coming up next on the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk.
College football's only two-time Heisman Trophy winner, Ohio State's Archie Griffin, on educational athletics.
High school sports are about so much more than wins and losses. Interscholastic athletics are an extension of the classroom and teach life lessons that truly completes a young person's education. Interscholastic athletics help give young men and women the tools they need to be successful in the biggest game of all, the game of life.
A message from the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
This is Dr. Dan Ross, Commissioner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, and you're listening to the OHSAA Radio Network.
Norwayne's made their way out onto the field. The Wildcats going to the far sideline to their side of things as we get ready for this Division IV state championship game. The OHSAA Radio Network would like to welcome those listening in around the state and around the world on our great affiliates, and including Lima's WCIT 940 AM, Ontario's WRGM 1440 AM, Lima's WIMA 1150 AM, McConnellsville's WJAW 100.9 FM, and Findley's WFIN 1330 AM, and online at jjhuddle.com, northcoastpigskin.com, and radionorthcoast.com. Let's allow all of our affiliates along the network line to pause for station identification. You're listening to the OHSAA Radio Network, brought to you by Chocolate Milk. Kenton, right?
Kenton's receiving.
Back at Paul Brown Tiger Stadium, time now for our starting lineups, and they are brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Call 1-800-FARMERS or visit farmers.com to find a local agent. We are insurance. We are farmers. Let's give you the starting lineup. First off, for the Wildcats of Kenton on offense, as they are going to be receiving the football first here today. Their offensive line is freshman Jake Hale, 6 foot 250 as a tackle. The other tackle is Logan Nichols, 6'1", 180-pound sophomore. The guards are J.T. Engel, 5'8", 250 and a junior, and Adam Mullins at 6 foot 270 and a senior. Clint Brunau is their center at 5'8", 225 and a senior. The wide receivers are first-team All-Ohioan Justin Sawmiller, 6 foot 160-pound sophomore. Casey Rollins, 6'1", 170-pound senior. Matt Barr, 6 foot 180-pound sophomore. Kiernan Fetter, a 5'10", 175-pound senior. And Zach Wolowitz at 5'10", 165 and a junior. The 5 starting wide receivers. And the quarterback is Mr. Football Ohio, the only brother combination to win the award, the Mocs, Maddie and Ben. Maddie at 6'2", 195 and a senior on the year, just under 5,000 passing yards, 63 touchdowns. He's rushed on the season for almost 2,000 yards and 23 more touchdowns. The offense of the Wildcats averaging 508 yards of total offense and 46 points per game. The defense of the Bobcats of Norwayne, they will line up in a 4-3-4 look. John Zimmerly, first-team All-Ohio and defensive end, 5'8", 185-pound junior. Cody Scruggs and Caleb Barb are the 2 tackles. Scruggs at 6 foot 220 and a junior, and Barb at 6'1", 225 and a senior. And Lawrence Wolf on the other side at defensive end, 5'10", 190 and a junior. The linebackers in the middle, it's Adam Wallace at 6'2", 200 and a senior. The 2 outside linebackers are Tyler Zimmerly, 5'10", 185-pound senior, and John Wilson, second-team All-Ohioan, 5'10", 250, and a junior. The secondary, which will be busy today, Trevon Beery, 6 foot 155, sophomore at one corner, Dustin Grier at 5'7", 145, and a senior on the other corner. John Mabick will be at a safety at 6'2", 175 and a senior, and Caleb Harris at 6'2", 185 and a sophomore, the other safety. The defense of the Bobcats allowing 227 yards per game and 13 points per contest. The visiting team will be Kenton. They are in the all-white look with red numerals trimmed in black, red headgear with a black paw on the side trimmed in white. The Bobcats of Norwayne in the home all-red look today, pants and tops. Silver numerals trimmed in white, silver helmet with an N paw on the side, and a red striping down the middle with a red face mask. And it will be Norwayne kicking off from our right to our left. And Heath Gerber will be doing the kicking. Beautiful day, 48 degrees here at kickoff. We've got a pretty decent breeze going from our right to our left, which will be behind the kicker and in the face of the Wildcats. And Justin, as we talked about yesterday, the morning and afternoon game, at least the first half of this afternoon game, the Wildcats right now staring squarely into the sun as they get ready to receive this kickoff.
Yeah, something that these players really aren't used to, playing their games at night on Friday and Saturday nights in the playoffs and regular season. Just something a little different. I think Kenton took the ball going this way for that fact, as receivers are going to be looking back or not at the sun when they're looking for passes in this first quarter. Hopefully by then, the second quarter and on, the sun won't be a factor.
Don't see a lot of teams that will take the football. They win the toss and take the football, but nothing orthodox about Kenton. And again, we'll reiterate, they will not kick extra points. They will go for 2 every time. They might onside kick a lot. And in 14 games, Justin, they have 13 punts.
Man.
That means they're going for it on fourth down a lot.
They know what they want to do, and they just come out and have fun and throw the ball around and go score a lot of points. I mean, it's worked for them, that's for sure.